Hi, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to Chai Beauty, where I get to share my thoughts, my dreams, my aspirations, my visions for the future. And guess what? You get to be along for this journey because we are in this together.
If I be honest with you, unity is very hard. Um, and when I had to do this one, she simplifies it in saying oneness. What is oneness? And again, I encourage you to buy this book to really get your foundation in what you want to learn, what you take from this. And I'm gonna say one part that I didn't catch the first time she talked about it, but I definitely caught the second time. And it says, "It will be painful for me to restore you, but I am called to experience pain to restore you." And when I thought about that message in particular, to be called pain is actually very difficult for me because we technically don't want to be in pain. Like, we don't want to be anywhere where physical suffering or discomfort can cause by illness or injury, careful efforts, great care, or even trouble, causing mental and physical pain. So to think that in my last segment I said it's an honor and a privilege to take care of somebody, but also it's an honor and a privilege to have pain on someone else's behalf because you have a sense of camaraderie or even a sense of I'm here and I've experienced a similar pain, not the same pain, but a similar. So I know I can get go there with you. I can lower myself and remember that time where I was in my life, and remember that yes, I'm going to pray for you, and yes, I'm going to walk with you, and yes, I'm going to encourage you, but sometimes it may not land well. But I do know I am called to restore you. I'm called to connect with you. There are over gazillions and gazillions of people, right? And God chose you to connect with this person because there's an experience that you have gone through or will go through or even have the capacity to be in to restore this person. And when I think of the word pain, as I said, it's just a physical, emotional thing. But when I think of the definition of restore, it's bring back a previous right, a practice, a custom, or a situation. Return to a formal condition, place, or position. Repair. And when I think of repair, I'm still reminded of the words my grandmother says that time heals all wounds because those wounds are being repaired. Now, whether it's just in forgiveness and not reconciliation, or it's forgiveness and reconciliation, that's the beauty of life because, again, God asks us to live in harmony if it's possible. And possible requires you to sit back and say, if I want to love this person, if I want to be one with this person, if I want to care for this person, if I want to weep with this person, if I want to enjoy sorrows with this person, whether they challenge me or not, how do I create harmony to let this person know that we're in this together, that I love them unconditional, even if I don't understand how to have an unconditional love. I've read about it. I think I know, but I need help in that unity part. I need help in loving that person. I need help in oneness. Oneness is not easy. And the prayer of unity is even harder when we think about the nuances and the complexity of us as an individual. We think of it the diversity of just your woman, your man, your feet, your female, your male, you're on the spectrum, you're not on the spectrum. You live in the suburbs, you live in the hood. You are a first gen, you're not a first gen. You you like what? And practicing oneness is not easy. It's why we have to go back to our foundation of just praying, asking for enlightenment. Her question, again, like I said, like I'll never go through all of it because I really want you to read that book and have that time with the Lord yourself. But when we asked ourselves, how are you actively participating with the living God to bring oneness in the world? I had to think about that. Like, how am I actively trying to serve God? Not serve myself because that's easy. I just honestly want money. I'm a very simple creature. Um, but she goes back in the beginning and said, what are some of the things you're praying for right now? And I say, I pray for wisdom, I pray for good counsel, and I pray for provisions. And as we go, we ask ourselves, what is the big deal about oneness? I think about peace. I know that I want something that is tangible. I want something that makes me feel like I have a safe place to go. But we go through scripture with her and she enlightens us. But then she asks us at the end, how are you actively participating with the living God to bring oneness into the world? And then I think about going to church. And church was like, if you're a good listener, there are 5 things you need to ask 5 people some questions, right? And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know what people are gonna say. I don't know what they're going to do. Um, but that's a moment where I was supposed to ask 5 people. I asked six. Somebody said no, thank you. Somebody was like, I only gave you the first part, but the second part challenges them, because you have to deal with the emotional side of it. And so I didn't get that second part. So I got a part of it, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt good about the feedback. I was like, oh, I'm doing really well. And then there were some questions, of course, like when people give you feedback, I had to ask clarifying questions. And one of the things I found, excuse me, was at work, I'm really good at giving feedback. I'm really good at focusing on the work and telling somebody this is how you improve, right? But then in my personal life, I can't do that. And it's because my aunt says it's because I care. And I was like, is that really it? Like, is it because I care that I can't give feedback? And I was like, no, I don't think so. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking and I'm praying and I go to church and it was like just pray on everything. So I was like, Jesus, why do I not give feedback easily to family and friends as easily as I do as work? And listening to him and saying that I have to go back to oneness and saying that the people and the friends, good nor bad, they challenge you, like they stretch you. And not saying that work won't, but you have multiple layers with your friendships, and they should feedback in the assertiveness and the straightforwardness that I have at work isn't a place to have with your friends. It's actually the opposite. You need to be slower to speak, faster to apologize, because you want to do what Jesus would do. Like, you still have strong boundaries and you still say yes or no to these things. However, they require a delicate conversation, but quicker. And What does that mean? That means when someone hurts you in a friendship, you can't easily throw them off or cut them. You have to literally have a conversation and be like, hey, when you said this, I don't think this was your intent, but I prayed about it and I'm trying to get over it, but I can't. So I have to call you and say, hey, I just want to have this conversation. And I do come in hot. Like everybody, I've gotten several feedback that says like when I started on Thursday, I come in hot. It's because like my brain works super duper fast for me sometimes, and I just have to like say it quickly, or I'm just gonna like let it fester. So I have to be like, and I think in a process oriented. So my thought process is usually like, this is what happened. This is how I feel. This is what I need, and here we are. And then I'd be like, cool. However, because people hurt my feelings in friendships and family, it takes time for me to even process that my feelings are hurt. It might be a week before the incident has happened. And I'm currently in this season where I'm waiting, like praying about that. But in those moments with my friends and family, like I'm always practicing, they are good human beings and they're doing the best that they can with what they have. So, what does that look like for us? What does that look like that we may have these disagreements, but I can still love on them? I can still intercede for them. I can still talk to them. And also, I can still grieve them when in a season they're not my person anymore. It's like I've built this momentum, I built this energy with them, and they're no longer serving me well in this season because God has something new for me. Um and that requires sometimes putting somebody outside of the game and put them on the sidelines while you figure it out. But I still want to have unity with them. I still want to love on them. I still want to encourage them. I still want to check in on them, whether some people have quarterly check-ins, some people have weekly check-ins, some people have daily check-ins. It doesn't really matter as long as you're checking in and you're loving them and you're encouraging them and you're having conversations to say, hey, in this season, like what you're asking of me, I can't do. And if you're honest with them, they have to do the work of being like, what this looks like and how do we work through this, because that person doesn't have capacity anymore. But that also means that your community pieces and your role model behavior means you has to change. You have to figure out, what does your new community look like? What does your unity look like? What does your oneness look like? Thank you. Thank you for all the support. I see it and I am growing mighty. And I have some news. I have done a lot of projects since I've been gone. I would like you to visit my website, subscribe to my Spotify, and go to my Patreon account. It's chai_beauty, just like this podcast. So you can get all the latest updates. I can't wait to see you there because we are in this together, my friend. I look forward to seeing you.